You know, I was younger. I remember my mom used to bug me about, you gotta be careful when you go out drinking because you might wake up somewhere where you don't want to be. And that was even more appropriate in the 18th century in England, who we're talking about right now. Because, you know, we talked a little bit ago about the Hessians and how we ended up to have English or German troops here because, you know, there just was a kind of a manpower shortage in England. Well, here's a little bit more on that. Armies just don't show up. Yeah, people don't join the army. At least then, it was kind of a chore to get people to join. Because people had other careers. They had didn't have, like, you didn't go to college like that, or didn't have school, but you were learned to trade, and of course that meant you were assigned somebody, and you learned your trade and stuff. But to become an army in the army or navy in England, that was some rough stuff. They had a very tough discipline, and if you did, again, kind of step out of line, you could be severely punished. You got floggings and just all manner of terribleness can happen to you. Well, getting signed up into the English Army is also fraught with danger. They had what they called the King's Shilling, and what that was, you had a recruiter who went to the bars and stuff, and they'd talk you into signing up for the English Army, and they'd hand you or give you a coin, usually a shilling, and it was just this is like a quarter for American, to give you some modern context, give you a quarter, and by taking that quarter, that's how you became contracted to join the army. And next thing you know, you're in training somewhere or on a boat on your way somewhere. And if you didn't go, that was like desertion. So you could get deep trouble, thrown in prison, flogged, all for taking a quarter from somebody. And the English Navy was even worse. They didn't even give you the quarter. They would get you drunk, and next thing you know, you're out to sea. And boy, the discipline in the English Navy was pretty tough. They did a lot of flogging because discipline is super important on a ship. When you can't just not do something. On contrast, the American Army had to find people and begging and short contracts and short enlistments, and had to beg people to stay. And it was definitely not like in England. It was kind of a, if there was ever a contrast, that's where you'd want to contrast. Is we didn't press anybody and tried to get volunteers to join our Continental Army. But boy, England, they were rough about it. So, a word to you wise, if you happen to find yourself back in the 18th century and you're out drinking with your friends, don't take any coins from anybody. You could end up in a bad situation. That's pretty much it for today's shave. That was an interesting thought. I got to thinking about how recruiting went back in those days. And that was what I found out. It was kind of neat and weird. Nice weather today. We've got the safety cat up here in her position. She loves being in that window. Well, great shave. Our blade, we took another bite of that Persona Gem Diamond Glide blade today. It's our second shave on that, and like I said, it's just so smooth. The whiskers are just squeegeed off. Now I could also still be recovering from our Gillette Platinum experience. I don't know. Our aftershave today, we're using Gable's Bay Rum. This is a massive bottle. I think it was intended for barber use, because it's, how else would you need such a huge bottle of aftershave? Very nice Bay Rum. So that's it for today's shave. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Major Rich. You find me at theshavingcadre.com. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're so inclined, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.